can't I say all the things? I still have not shredded my cheese. Hey everyone, and welcome back. My name is Brandy. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a chicken taco bake, or casserole if that's the word that you like to use, but I don't like that word, so it's a taco bake. But it is basically all of the elements from your favorite Mexican dinner served up in one dish. It's really easy, it'll feed a crowd. So let me bring you in a little bit closer and I will show you what we need. Okay, for starters, I am gonna be making a Mexican style rice from scratch. If you do not have the time or the energy or just don't wanna mess with this, you are welcome to make plain rice or use packaged rice or anything like that. If that's the case, just skip ahead in the video. I will show you where and you can do all the rest. But this is what we will need to make the Mexican style rice. And this is everything else that we need. This cheese is not shredded yet, but I will take care of that before it's time. I will list all the ingredients somewhere where you can see them. And of course, the entire recipe will be listed down below. So let's go ahead and get started. So here we are getting started with the rice. I'm doing this all in my Instant Pot. I have it on saute mode right now, and I just added a little bit of oil, and I'm gonna add not all of this onion, but just a little bit. I don't know, however much you like. And I'm just gonna let these saute for a couple of minutes until they get translucent and soft. And now that those are almost done, I'm just gonna add a little bit of this garlic. The rest is for the rest. That's probably equivalent of like 1 or 2 cloves. Put that in there for just a minute or so. You always want to be careful not to burn your garlic. Man, this smells good. Give that a good little stir. And now I have my rice that I have already rinsed and drained. It's sticking to the bowl because it's wet. That's okay. And I really just want to try and get the rice a little bit toasted. I know that's going to be difficult because it's wet, but just let it go for a minute or so. I am going to turn my heat down here because my Instant Pot gets some hot spots in it. I am also going to take the time to add just a little bit of cumin here. Not a lot, but just enough to add some smokiness. I don't know, maybe that much. And I will add just a touch of chili powder as well. Ooh, not that much, geez. Maybe like that. Again, just a little bit for flavor. You don't want to go crazy with it. I'll go ahead and add a good pinch of salt. There is a little bit of salt in my chicken stock, so I'm not going too crazy with it. Adding the spices in now and letting them saute a little bit, it really helps to bring out the flavor and get them nice and toasty as opposed to adding them after you've added your liquid. So that's why I do it this way. So that is looking good. Here I have my chicken broth. I did go ahead and dissolve 2 teaspoons of tomato powder into it. I find that if I add the tomato powder in here, it tends to clump up a little bit more, so it's just easier for me to dissolve it into the chicken stock first. So this is looking good. It smells good. Just making sure I get all the rice down in there. And the great part about doing this in the Instant Pot is you don't really have to think about the rest. I'm just gonna put the lid on, switch it over to seal, and then I'm just going to use the rice button. And then when it's done, I will let the pressure naturally release. And while we're waiting on the rice, I will show you how we do the chicken and everything else. Okay, so it's time to cook the chicken. All I did was I went ahead and diced this up into bite-sized pieces. I seasoned it with salt, pepper, chili powder, a little bit of cumin. Tossed it all together so that it's nice and coated. Can you even see? There you go. And I have my pan preheated over medium heat, so this should sizzle just a little bit. There we go. Just gonna spread this out in an even layer here. My chicken is pretty close to done, so I'm gonna go ahead and add in the onion and the garlic. You know, just measure with your heart. I will put approximate measurements in the description with the recipe below, just in case you're someone who really needs a recipe to follow, but just do what you like. and this much garlic. Ooh, yeah. And I'm just gonna let that continue to cook until the chicken is cooked all the way through and the onions get a little bit soft. So this is looking good. My onions are soft and I'm just looking for a big piece of chicken to kind of break open and just make sure it is cooked. Yes, it is. So I'm gonna turn this off. Boom. Let this cool down for a little bit, and I am gonna go ahead and preheat my oven to 425 so that once we get this all put together, it will be ready to go. So I think we are ready to assemble. I was gonna put this all in another bowl to mix it, but I don't think I need to do that since I already have my Instant Pot insert here that's already dirty, so why do more dishes? If you didn't make rice fresh for this, then just go ahead and mix this up in a different bowl, but I'm gonna use what I have. Okay, so I already have the rice here, and basically everything else is just gonna go in here. I'm gonna start with my chicken, onion, and garlic mixture. Trying to get all the bits, because that's where the flavor is. Oh man, it smells so good. Okay, what do we have next? Let's add some beans. These beans, I made them fresh, but it's about the equivalent of 1 can of black beans. I have 1 can of fire roasted tomatoes and a teeny tiny little 4-ounce can of green chilies. Normally, I would just use Rotel, which, you know, is tomatoes and green chilies already mixed together, but my store did not have any, so just doing it separate. Right, give that a little mixy mix there. Looking good. And the last thing is a can of corn that I rinsed and drained. This was not rude. This was not a full 15-ounce can of corn. I feel like that might be way too much. I got a little 12-ounce can and it still seems like a lot, but I don't know what I would do with the rest if I saved some, so I'm just gonna throw it all in, but you know, do what you like. If you were using frozen corn, maybe that would be better. You could just use, I don't know, like a cup or so. So that is what it looks like at this point. I am going to put all of this into a 9x13 baking dish and top it with some cheese. Okay, here we go. Oh dang, it's still a little hot on the bottom, so be careful. I hope this all fits. This is a lot of food, y'all. It is a lot. This is at least 6 servings. I would say this is 6 like hungry people servings. If you have people that are not so hungry, or if you have, you know, little people, small children that you are trying to feed, then I bet you could get 8 or so servings. And this is really easy to, you know, make some extra, double or triple if you have a lot of people to feed, or if you want to make an extra one and freeze it for later, that would be great too. And really, I mean, it's not terribly expensive either. You'll notice that, or maybe you won't notice, but I just use 1 chicken breast. Well, mainly because there was only 1 in the package that I opened, but really you don't need a whole lot since you have, you know, a lot of other, like the rice and the beans and everything. But definitely if you want more protein, you can add more, but it's not really necessary. Here is the cheese that you were promised. I'm using pepper jack cheese. I think that goes really well with this, but just use whatever you like. And I tend to put a little bit less on here because I know that when we go to eat this, my honey especially, he will add extra cheese to his serving. So, you know, I think no matter how much cheese I put on it, he's still gonna wanna add extra. So I don't feel bad if I go a little bit light on the cheese at this stage, but we do want a good covering here. How does that look? Does that look okay? Would you add more cheese? Maybe just a little bit, after I said that I'm not gonna add very much. Here we go, all right. I think that looks good. I am gonna go ahead and stick this in a 425-degree oven. Since everything is already cooked, we are really just waiting for the cheese to get melted and bubbly. So let me do that and I will show you how it looks when we're done. So this just came out of the oven. Doesn't it look good? It is still bubbling, so it's very hot. I did end up getting a little bit impatient with the oven. And after, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes or so at 425, the cheese was melted, but it wasn't brown yet. So I went ahead and turned on the broiler to get the cheese nice and golden brown. If you do that, just make sure to keep a very close eye on it so that it doesn't burn. But yeah, this is it. So that is it. I know that we're really gonna enjoy this for dinner later. For serving, it's really simple. Just top it with whatever you like. You can top it with sour cream, jalapenos, sliced avocado, salsa. Side note, my last video was how to make a really quick and easy salsa, so check that out. You can top it with more cheese. You can top it with tortilla chips, really whatever you like. So please do try this recipe out and let me know how it goes, and I will see you next time. Bye.